submersible, so you can actually see the trailer in the water at night. Okay? The trailer's got surge brakes, and how the surge brakes work, the more pressure is put on your tow vehicle as you're coming to a stop, the more this travels back inside the sleeve, works like a brake pedal to the car. So when you come to a stop, the pressure comes in and the applies the brakes. They are disc brakes, so they work pretty good. The only problem with that is when you're backing up, the brakes are going to want to lock up on you because you've got pressure going into the trailer. There's two ways to get the brakes that are lock up on you. The first one is to insert this little key in right here that goes, it goes in right there. I'll get the guys to stretch that out a little bit so it goes in easier, but hopefully you'll never need it. There is an easier way than jumping out of your tow vehicle. When you have this plugged into your tow vehicle, whenever you put it in reverse, it activates this pin right here. There's an electric solenoid in there that shuts down so it doesn't allow the brake fluid to go to the brakes. So every time you put it in reverse, this automatically does it as long as it's plugged into your tow vehicle. So you don't have to jump out with this little key in all the time, because that's kind of a pain. Okay. It is a state law in Colorado. Your safety cables must be crisscrossed. So that one goes to that side of the tow vehicle. That one goes to the other side, so it makes a cradle. So if the trailer falls off, it goes into that cradle.
Okay.
This is an emergency brake cable. This needs to be hooked to your tow vehicle also. So if the trailer ever comes off or you're going down the highway, this will yank out, lock the brakes up on the trailer. Do not forget to unhook this off your tow vehicle. If you forget and pull this out, it will lock the brakes up. You will not be able to move the trailer until you reach underneath and push this little button up, and it pushes kind of hard, and that will unlock the brakes again. But if this cable comes out, it is a federal law. You have to have another one put on. It is a little bit expensive to do that. So this cable is not very expensive, but taking this all apart and rebleeding the brakes is expensive. So I put this right over here. So when you're pulling away, you can't accidentally pull it out.
Makes sense.
All the lights in the trailer, they are submersible lights. That means you do not have to unplug them off your tow vehicle. They're all sealed and submersible, so you can actually see the trailer in the water at night. Okay? The trailer's got surge brakes, and how the surge brakes work, the more pressure is put on your tow vehicle as you're coming to a stop, the more this travels back inside the sleeve, works like a brake pedal to the car. So when you come to a stop, the pressure comes in and the applies the brakes. They are disc brakes, so they work pretty good. The only problem with that is when you're backing up, the brakes are going to want to lock up on you because you've got pressure going into the trailer. There's two ways to get the brakes that will lock up on you. The first one is to insert this little key in right here that goes, it goes in right there. I'll get the guys to stretch that out a little bit so it goes in easier, but hopefully you'll never need it. There is an easier way than jumping out of your tow vehicle. When you have this plugged into your tow vehicle, whenever you put it in reverse, it activates this pin right here. There's an electric solenoid in there that shuts down so it doesn't allow the brake fluid to go to the brakes. So every time you put it in reverse, this automatically does it as long as it's plugged into your tow vehicle. So you don't have to jump out with this little key in all the time, because that's kind of a pain. Okay. It is a state law in Colorado. Your safety cables must be crisscrossed. So that one goes to that side of the tow vehicle. That one goes to the other side, so it makes a cradle. So if the trailer falls off, it goes into that cradle.
Okay.
This is an emergency brake cable. This needs to be hooked to your tow vehicle also. So if the trailer ever comes off or you're going down the highway, this will yank out, lock the brakes up on the trailer. Do not forget to unhook this off your tow vehicle. If you forget and pull this out, it will lock the brakes up. You will not be able to move the trailer until you reach underneath and push this little button up, and it pushes kind of hard, and that will unlock the brakes again. But if this cable comes out, it is a federal law. You have to have another one put on. It is a little bit expensive to do that. So this cable is not very expensive, but taking this all apart and rebleeding the brakes is expensive. So I put this right over here. So when you're pulling away, you can't accidentally pull it out.
Makes sense.
I give this speech to everybody, no matter how many boats you want. More fights, more divorces happen at boat ramps than anyplace else. You need to get your boat ready to go before you go down the boat ramp area. So the number one thing you're going to do is take your safety chain off. And I normally just park this up over the steps so it's not dragging on the ground. That's number one. The other three things are in the back of the boat, and I'll hit those in just a minute. And I'll repeat these more than one time on my walkthrough. This strap needs to be left on the boat until the boat is in the water and running at least 30 seconds before you unhook it. You'll see people unhook that up in the parking lot. Have somebody in the boat, somebody in the tow vehicle. As soon as the boat hits the water, the boat slides off and they go park. First time you're going to see it, you're going to go, that was pretty cool. Until they go to hit the key, somebody left the battery on, battery's dead, and the wind's blowing, off they go. So always make sure the boat's going to start in the water before you unhook this strap. To unhook it, you just got to take a little pressure this way, flip this lever the other way, release the boat back in the water. Usually the boat only slides back a couple inches, and that's when you're going to unhook it off the bow line. Cool. Bring it back on, just flip the lever the other way, and crank it all the way up until it comes to stop on that. Usually when you drive it up, it'll be pretty close to there anyway, so you really don't have to crank it. This is a 2-speed boat. So there's a little lever over here. It says shift lock. So you lift up on that, drag this over to the set of gears over here. That is a low set of gears.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so you can really bring it in tight, but it's a lot slower.
And it's easier on you.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can really get it inside. It's always hard at that last to get it up there. That's really smart.
Yeah. So I just leave it in low gear because it's just the one you're probably going to want to do.
That makes sense.
And then put your safety chain back on. Any questions for that? Got some stuff to do on your boat. First thing is the lug nuts. We have tightened all the lug nuts to 90 foot-pounds, which is recommended by the manufacturer. You need to check the lug nuts on a regular basis as long as you're on the trailer. The first 50 miles is critical that you check the lug nuts. If you don't have a torque wrench, just get one of those cheap T-wrenches at Walmart. Go around and check them. So when you get part of the way up there, you just want to pull over someplace and check the lug nuts. They're aluminum wheels, and they do have the tendency to loosen the first 50 miles or so.
Okay.
So check the lug nuts, and then you're going to check them on a regular basis after that. And like I said, if you don't have a torque wrench, just snug them in good.
Just sugar, couldn't hit it.
Okay. The tire pressure is 50. It is written on the sidewall, 50 pounds of air when the tire is cold. Cold doesn't mean a day like today. It just means before you start heading down the highway. So 50 pounds. These are greaseless hubs. You never have to grease these hubs. They're good for 10 years or 100,000 miles. So that black cap that's on there never comes off. Do not have one of your friends or relatives say, no, Tommy's crazy, you got to grease all bearings. These are greaseless.
Okay.
So don't have somebody trying to pry that off.
Okay.
Or you will get water in there and then
That's a problem.
Then they're no longer greaseless.
But in 10 years, they get a special grease. Okay?
Cool.
Before you put the boat in the waters, you're going to take your tie-down straps off. You have one on each side. To take them off, you either have to push this or this, and just push it, and that releases it.
Oh yeah, I saw
Bring it back.
these.
It snaps under there, and then grab the black handle underneath. Just snug it tight.
And that's how it gets.
Wow, that's.
Oh man, the amount of times I've looked for my tow straps in my garage. I'm like, where did I put those?
So right here is a release.
Okay, in like that. Okay.
Yep. And then to tighten it, just grab the black handle underneath and lift that one.
This is that. Yeah.
Wow, that's slick. That is.
Yep, the boat is going to squirt out of here. And that's an indication to you the motor's sucking water and pumping good. You can never ever start this motor out of water. If you do, about 30 seconds to a minute, you'll fry that impeller. Not propeller, but impeller. It's made out of rubber. It's located in here. Mercury suggests you change it out every year. All the manufacturers suggest you change it out every year. We think every other year is just fine in Colorado, but don't go more than every other year.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a very expensive part until it goes bad. It's like a $65 part plus labor. So it's just worth it in not the first year, but the second year, when you go to winterize it, just have it changed out.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Your first service on this is going to be when you get 20 hours on the motor. There is an hour meter on the dash, so it'll let you know when you get there. Do not bring it in when you get 19.9 hours because I can't change the computer. It's got to be at least 20 hours. So between 20 and 30 hours is when we want to see you for that 20-hour service. So right when you hit 20, it's like, well, we got to stop boating today. No, you can go to between 20 and 30 hours.
Okay.
And that's going to be changing the oil. There's a lot of things we do on a 20-hour service.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? There's only one kind of oil you can put in this, and it's Verado oil, Mercury Verado oil. Do not use any kind of other motor oil. This engine runs over 6,000 RPMs, wide open throttle. Regular car motor oil will break down around 4,000 RPMs.
Oh.
Wow.
So always use Mercury oil. It's designed to run at high RPMs, so it won't foam and break down like regular motor oil. Cars run, I don't know, 6,000 RPM or 6,000 miles before oil change. This would never last that long. So
Wow.
Well,
every year you're going to change the oil out at winterization time. That is when your maintenance is done. You do not want this engine to sit all winter long with dirty oil in it, and because it's going to be sitting in bearings, and you just want to change it out so you got fresh oil for it to sit all winter long. So your maintenance happens at the end of the season for winterization.
So after that first 20 hours, because that would be, you'd use it more than 20 hours in a season, right?
oh yeah.
We have some people that don't, but
Most people.
if you use it on a regular basis, yeah.
You probably
We
would.
probably would.
So we'd have to bring it down during the summer. Have that
Just schedule
done.
it ahead of time, and if we know you're coming down, you can wait for it.
Okay, okay. And then after that, like for the second season then, is it just once a year then?
At
Okay,
the end of the season.
at the end of the
winter-
season.
winterization.
So the first
This is
time
just the
is
first
break
After
thing.
20 hours,
Yeah,
and
got
it
it.
needs to be gone through. Okay.
You'll never hit anything. You'll never hit it.
Does
Cool.
it have one of those sticks?
It doesn't need it
Doesn't need it.
because
okay.
at this elevation, it just doesn't need it.
It's
Okay.
not.
And these are really powerful cylinders on here.
Okay. So
And then
just
this is the
have
height,
it down and it's fine.
and he'll show
Is
us.
it all the way down?
It's not all the way down. All the way down is going to look like. It's right there on that side.
Okay.
When you open that, sometimes in the summertime, there's a lot of pressure that builds up, and you go as you open that up. So just be aware, don't have your face down. Air separator filter, that gets changed out at the winterization time. There's also one inside. There's an oil filter inside. The oil filter and the other one get changed out at 20 hours and at the end of the season.
Yep.
This one only gets changed out once a year.
Yep.
So if you watch that screen, I am dimming it right now.
Okay.
So if you're boating at night, you can dim that down so the lights aren't in your face.
It's just the dim. Oh, nice.
1,800 RPMs and 4,400 RPMs for the first 6 hours of operation. No
So-
wide open throttle, no idling for any length of time during that first 6 hours. So do not plan on putting the 6 hours on by idling along the lake. Idling is the worst thing you can do on a brand new engine.
Okay.
So you want to run at different RPMs. So you might want to run it at 2,000 RPMs for 10 minutes, then change the RPM for 10 minutes, change it again, just between 1,800 and 4,400 RPMs for the first 6 hours. It'll
Okay.
seem like forever.
Okay.
For the first 6 hours, okay. And is that in the book too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, change the RPM. You can take a wide open throttle every once in a while during that 6 hours. Do not hold it there more than 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to do that until we go through that thing.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So this is RPM. 6,000, 6,200 RPMs is about where this motor should run.
Okay.
Wide open throttle. And over here is your speedometer. And that is GPS speed. It's not the old
Oh, crazy.
Pedo tube pickup.
Yeah.
So it is GPS speed.
Wow.
Okay.
I
You
don't
also
know what that means.
tracked by the.
Oh, like satellite.
Yeah.
Satellite. Right. So here, this is the screen that shows your miles per hour. This is miles per hour on for ground speed. So what you're used to for in your car, this is going to show you your ground speed. So there is a thing called water speed, but we don't even put it on this.
Yeah.
So water speed is different because you're doing this. So you're not getting there as fast as you think you should be.
Oh, weird.
Oh, you're actually going a longer distance.
I learned that the hard way in the Gulf.
Oh, yeah.
I said, my boat said I could go 183 miles when I tank gas. I about ran out of gas going from one marina to another marina. And the guy says, well, did you calculate your water speed? I'm going,
No.
he goes, you're going up and down instead of straight,
Wow.
which made
That's
the trip a little
interesting.
bit longer.
Yep.
Wow.
And just enough to.
Good to know.
So anyway, that's your speed. This is showing how much gas you have in the tank.
Oh.
We put 5 or 10 gallons of gas in it because we would have to charge you for the gas that we put in it. Plus, you're taking it to the mountains, so you do not want to fill it until you get to the mountains, and then you can fill it there because all that extra weight's going to be in the boat, and that's
Right.
a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so the gas fill is in the middle back there. What's that we're going to say?
Total fuel.
2.7
Okay.
gallons.
That's because the boat's not. All the gas tank is back in here, and when it's back, that's where the transducer is for measuring the gas with float, and it would show you more gas in there than that if it was cranked up a little bit. All right, this one is your tachometer. So once again, we want to keep the tach between 1,800 and 4,400 RPMs for the first 6 hours.
1,844.
The book might show a little different on this motor, but it's not going to be too much different.
Okay.
This is showing volts.
For the battery.
All right, so everything over here that is, I should have my glasses on. What is that? What's that?
Depth.
So the depth finder is that transducer is in the back corner.
Yeah.
It'll show how deep you are in the water, but it won't tell you you're going to hit something until you already hit it.
Right.
It's back there, not in the front.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, ours is like
SOG is ground speed. The next one is fuel 5.7, and we're in a building right now, so it's not reading GPS.
Oh, okay. Just press the menu. Wow.
Change this on me. I'll go back to this one. And I'm gonna have to grab Brian. Oh, there we go. All right, so this changes the screens. So chart is going to show you where you're at on the lake.
Okay.
Okay. Echo is your fish finder. So it'll show you your fish finder.
Right.
We had fish finders before.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
take you a little bit of time to figure this one out.
Sure.
And then go back to that one. Next one is side scan, so it actually sees fish on the side rather than
Not
just
right
down.
straight down.
Down scan is pretty much the same as Echo. Nav is going to show you where you're at.
Oh, yeah, like a GPS. Yep. Perfect.
And the next one is engine, so that was the original screen we had.
That where we're
Okay,
at.
good.
All right, so if you want a split screen, there's a couple split screens on here right now.
Where you can do, yeah. Perfect.
So you can have as many as 4 screens in one,
Oh,
which makes it
crazy.
really, really small.
Yeah, but generally, Fish
So-
Finder and your
and,
GPS is what I'm
is-
like.
is-
So
is
that's
to
really
use it,
nice.
All right, so if you want to customize this and do your own thing, all you have to do is hit that and then drag whatever you want into that. Let's do that. Echo.
Oh, crazy. That's right.
It says save.
And just save, and then you got that. Boom, you got your
So now it's up on the screen over here.
rad.
So all you have to do is push that. It's just drag, just like your
Drag
phone.
and
So the
drop.
ones that you like to have, it's just wow,
Very cool.
nice.
So if you don't want the ones that come with it, you just hit delete. Hit
Awesome.
it and then hit delete.
Nice. That is nice. That's a really nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
When
Thing.
you're on this screen, you hit this. This is man overboard.
And that marks the location.
So, yeah, you don't want to hit that because it will send out a Coast Guard notice.
Oh, I thought it just hit a. Don't touch
I don't think they have Coast Guard on Granby.
I don't think so either.
No.
But they.
But anyway,
it's probably not
I
good.
used it to find hats. The hat blows off, you go,
Hit
so
it
you can
and then.
actually go back and find it.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm
But
glad
that's
we're
what-
not calling the
that's
Coast
what
Guard
that does, and all
accidentally.
you have to do is hit activate, and it'll show you where you're at.
Cool.
So if somebody does go overboard and you're trying to go back and you can't find them, somebody up front needs to be pointing where that person is in the water, so the driver can figure out where he doesn't run them over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll do that.
Okay. So the first one that comes on is your navigation, which turns on your green and your red light, and also turns on your anchor light in the back.
Okay.
It's an indication that all the lights are on. You know what side to pass at night if you're coming up on somebody at night?
We don't really drive at night, so no.
Okay, there's a rule. It's called red light to red light at night.
Okay.
Your red light is on the port side of the boat, so port red wine is an easy way to remember that. Word port has 4 letters, left has 4 letters. So the left side of the boat is the port side, starboard side. So the boat coming at you is going to be passing you red light to red light at night. So his red light is going on your red light. It's like you're driving down the highway.
Okay.
Okay. If you see a green light coming at you at night, not good, because they're either coming right at you or they're crossing your bow. You should always see their red light coming at you at night.
Okay.
Same thing is true with the daytime. And also turns on your instrument lights.
Gotcha.
Next one is floor lighting. So there are lights inside the boat. And the cup holders light up.
Awesome.
Okay. If you don't like green, all you have to do is turn that knob.
Try it, Dad. Let's see if you can do it. Turn it. There you go. Now it's blue.
Keep turning.
Purple.
You can just go crazy, man. Just, yep.
And red.
It goes to like a flicker, yeah, like a moving.
Now every time you turn the battery switch on, that automatically comes on.
Oh, cool.
But this shuts everything off except for that. If you don't want that little light on, just hold that button down. And it goes off.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
if you're out there at night and you've got this on going, how come nothing's coming on? Just touch that again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And now all the lights are on.
Wow.
Cool. So you want to see this light on
To make sure this one works.
to make sure that one works and everything's working good. Cool.
Okay, that accessory is hooked into nothing. So
Okay.
if you ever put a GPS, I mean a ship shore radio in it, you could add that to that.
Oh,
It's just like an extra, just for if you want to do
Yeah.
something
Something
later in the
else later.
future.
Courtesy lights, you've got a light up there, and you have another light. If I can get you off of this, there's another light in here.
Oh,
that
what?
turns on.
oh,
That's so
man.
sick.
That
Oh
is
my
handy.
gosh. Barletta's dope.
So that's the courtesy lights.
Wow.
Okay. Very cool.
The driver's seat and passenger seat slide forward and backwards, and there are 2 levers underneath that do that. So the lever here, lifting up on that, allows the seat to slide forward and backwards, and the one here allows the seat to swivel.
Nice.
Okay, there's another knob back underneath over there. That little, yep. So that tightens the base down, so if you don't want the seat to swivel as easily, you just tighten it down and it's harder to move it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Okay? There's one more lever here. It's on the side. By lifting up on that, allows the seat, it's on that side over there, allows the
recline.
seat to recline.
Nice.
So forward, back, recline, swivel.
Just lift up on it.
See?
Yep.
Let go. Yep. Working good.
Okay?
Nice.
And then the armrest, I always lift the armrest out when I'm getting in and out of the seat. It just makes it a lot easier than having to scoot up to get out of the seat.
Definitely.
All right. Over here is docking lights. So you have lights on the front of the boat. You can see it reflecting off the door.
Oh, okay.
So there are lights on the front when you're coming in at night. I think they're on the side, aren't they?
I don't know. Oh yeah, they're on the side. Yep. They're not.
So
They're
that's
like
the
there.
docking lights.
What are we at now?
Okay, so there's two separate ones here. This one is for the side lights that I was talking about that run all the way along the side.
Oh, okay.
That's that one. This one is your underwater lights in the back.
Oh, yeah. I just
Okay.
saw
That's
that up
really
the
cool.
crack.
Yeah.
Lights up about a 10-foot area in the back of the boat.
Wow.
So that's that one, and this one is the ones on the side.
And then those are just always white, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a state law in Indiana that they can't have blue lights on the outside of the boat
Because
that's
of-
the sign that it's a patrol boat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there are boat companies that have them.
Yeah, I've seen them, but I.
Builds, there's a pump in here that pumps out water that's in this compartment right here. So if you get a rainstorm or get a wave over the front of the boat, it will pump the water out. It is an automatic builds on here. It'll automatically kick on when 3.5 inches or more water get in there.
Okay.
It'll automatically kick on even though you haven't flipped the switch.
Gotcha.
Even though you have the battery switch off, it'll pump water out.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
good.
that's slick.
But you
So-
can do it manually if it's less than
I
that.
just turn around every once in a while, just make sure. This is a false floor in here. So that floor,
I was trying to. Oh, courtesy. There we go. I'm learning. I'm
there is a
learning.
floor in there. And the pontoon continues down underneath that, so that's where the water gets trapped under the floor. To pump the water out.
I see.
So it's not going to get stuff wet in here.
But there could be water in it.
But
Yeah.
there could be water in it.
That.
Oh, got it. Got
But
it.
it'll automatically kick on if 2.5 inches or more water get in there. It automatically kicks in,
Sweet.
pumps water out.
Badass.
What is that?
The cover.
Cover.
Oh, the cover.
The
The
storage cover.
playpen.
Is that the playpen or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
Cover?
You cannot travel with that.
Right.
It'll erupt to shreds.
It's just for when it's in a slip or whatever.
Yep.
There's not very many dealerships that, like us, you travel on a trailer. There's a lot of dealerships that don't even sell trailers.
Oh
Keep them
wow.
at the lake they're at.
They just because they never take them out.
Well, they take them out of the water, but they put them in dry storage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like those
things.
huge
How do they get them out?
Forklifts.
forklifts and cranes and remember in Florida how we saw the
Oh, those boats all
stacked up?
Yeah.
I mean they'd
That's
have
how they
So
have
weird.
They didn't
really
lift 'em
long
up.
forks
Yeah.
lift up, and they actually can go 20 feet down, so they can pull up on a dock and go underneath the boat and pull it up.
So weird. So different.
And then the last one is horn.
Meep. Cool.
It's a nice one. It's not a horn.
All right, we're gonna go to the radio.
It's on Bluetooth.
What's it on right now?
Bluetooth, yeah. So that's mute. And maybe switch it to. Oh wow, the zone. So you have like your front zone and your back zone. That's
Right.
cool.
Just trying to remember how to change the station.
I think it's
Sync.
that.
So that's Bluetooth. What's that one say?
No dab.
Not sure what
I
that
don't
is.
even know what that is. So I must.
That is a plug-in for here.
Okay. For
So
your
you can-
aux.
Yep. There's one back there on that panel. There's one over here. USB port. And there's another one in front.
Are there two up front?
Just one. Oh no, there's two.
Yeah, I thought there's two. It's all good. I was just for my own knowledge.
Let's see if we can get back to radio.
I think it was the top button.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's all good. Oh, apologies. I think there you go. And then you can go over to FM or AM or whatever.
Cali right now.
There
It's
we
their
go.
latest One Last Time.
All right, this is stereo is made by Hertz. Hertz is a stereo that's made in Germany. And right now, Barletta is the only company that makes stereos in the boat. It is as good as some of the wakeboard boat stereos.
The sound in here is really good. It's very.
We're in a building.
Yeah. So like outside of just
Yeah.
just has such a good sound, even just low like this, full, and that's one of the things I'm most excited about.
So you can pair your phone to, when you go to the Bluetooth, you can pair your. This is the stern. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the pressure of that.
Off. And also just having these instead of straps is so much better.
Those poles, yeah. So you take a little pressure off and then you fold those up.
I can.
Should I get out of the way?
Pull down on this just a little bit.
There we go. Teamwork makes the dream work.
So from here, you do not want to push it at all. Up or down, do not help it. Let the motor do 100% of the work.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
put those
I
poles.
did pull it down a little bit here to get it to release.
Okay.
Okay, but I didn't take it that far.
Yep.
All right, so these have got to be out.
So you can put yours out, Mom. You
What did I
pull
do?
that
Oh,
down.
this little thing. Like that?
Just like that, yep.
Is that far enough? Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
Back under the-
Yeah. Oh, we might need to get that tightened up a little bit, but that
I'll have
screw's just a little loose.
Okay, I'll have them do that.
Cool, thank you.
All right, so hit the down button right here on the stern.
Oh, is that? Oh, stop.
There's a light.
It's scary having you in control. Control.
Charge.
In charge.
You can charge.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now you can.
You want to hold that until you hear the motors go.
Okay. Right
Good.
there, and then stop.
Yep. Now, if you hold that too long, it will kick the breaker.
Yeah.
If you wait 20 seconds, the breaker will come back on.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But
just
do
don't
want to
wanna-
hear it go, so everything is compressed together
Right.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Likewise, when you're going up, you want to wait for that. And if you can kind of get this pole
Get your legs.
close as
Guide
you're
it.
coming down, it'll just lock in.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, I think that covers it probably there. These are both the same.
Okay.
One's a pain in the butt to put on, the other one's easy.
I guess this is the harder one.
Yeah, this one's a hard one.
Because of the
Location.
pole. Okay, so flipping it under.